Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. We talk a lot about big ideas on this show, like,
Mm,
huge concepts that shape our world. But today we're going kind of micro, getting into something that seems simple on the surface, but has like really deep implications. Integrity.
yeah, that's right.
We're going to be looking at this idea through the lens of an episode from The Dot called Integrity, Who You Are When No One Is Watching. And well, I think the title kind of says it all, right? It's like, what do we do when no one's going to know, when there are no like gold stars or pats on the back for doing the quote unquote right thing, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it really gets to the core of who we are, right? Like, our actions when no one's looking reveal a lot about our true character and values, way more than those big public displays of, like, morality or whatever.
Exactly. And the episode starts off with this quote, and it really hit me hard. It says, integrity is not about the grand gestures, but the accumulation of seemingly insignificant choices. It's like, whoa, those little everyday decisions we make, they actually like matter a lot.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, think about it. It's not about being a hero in some, dramatic situation, right? It's about consistently making the honest, ethical choice, even when it's hard, even when no one would ever find out if you took the easy way out.
Yeah. And it's easy to say that, right? Like, oh, yeah, I'm a person of integrity, of course. But then you get into these situations where, like, maybe you could cut a corner at work and save yourself a ton of time and no one would know.
Right.
But, like, would you know? Would you be able to live with yourself knowing you didn't really give it your all?
I think that's exactly what the dot is getting at, right? It's about that internal struggle, that moment where you have to decide what kind of person you want to be, even if it means, staying up late or doing the extra work or whatever.
And, The Dot, the host of that show, actually shares this really relatable anecdote. Like, they were up against a deadline, and they totally could have cut a corner that would save them, like, a ton of time. No one would have been the wiser. But they didn't. They stuck to their principles, even though it meant, like, pulling an all-nighter to get it done right.
Oh, wow. That's commitment. I've totally been there. Those moments when it's like 2 in the morning and you're just like, ugh, should I just.
Right, but you push through because it's about more than just getting it done. It's about doing it right by yourself, even when no one's watching.
Exactly. And that's where that self-respect and self-trust come in, right? It's like when you consistently choose that harder path, the ethical path, even when it's inconvenient or difficult,
Right.
you're basically proving to yourself that your values aren't just words, right? They're actions. You're putting your money where your mouth is, so to speak.
I love that, yeah.
Eh?
It's like an investment in yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting in the hard work now to build something solid and enduring within.
Absolutely. It's not always easy, though, right? Let's be real. Sometimes the right choice isn't always crystal clear. There can be these like gray areas, these situations where there's no easy answer. And I think that's where our integrity is truly tested, right? It's not about having all the answers, but about being willing to like grapple with those tough questions, wrestle with the ethical dilemmas.
That's so true. It's like being comfortable with the unknown, with not having a rule book for every single situation.
Mm.
You have to rely on your internal compass, that sense of what's right, even when it's hard.
Yeah, that internal compass is crucial.
Absolutely. And this brings us to another point that I made, which is how crucial integrity is for building trust with others. Like, think about the people you really admire, the people you rely on. They're probably people who consistently demonstrate integrity in how they treat others, how they handle situations, especially, when things get tough.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, I immediately think about, well, I don't want to name names, but there's folks I've worked with who, like, when things hit the fan, they don't point fingers or try to hide things. They own their mistakes and work to make things right. And that just makes me trust them even more?
Right. It's like their actions speak louder than any words they could say.
Exactly. And if you zoom out a little, you see how integrity becomes the foundation for, like, healthy relationships, both personal and professional.
Yeah.
It fosters this transparency and accountability, creating an environment where people feel safe and respected, which is like huge.
Huge. And it all goes back to those small choices, right? Like,
Yeah.
think about it. Think about, like, your last work project. Was there ever a moment where you could have, cut a corner, but you didn't? How did that decision make you feel? Like, what did it say about your integrity?
Hmm. Yeah, I think we often underestimate the power of those moments, those seemingly insignificant decisions, because they really do reveal a lot about us, more than those big public displays, I think.
And I love how the dot kind of brings it all back to that powerful quote from the beginning. It's like the true measure of our integrity isn't about what the world sees. It's about what we know about ourselves in those quiet moments of decision, those moments when no one's looking but us.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, it's about that inner alignment, that feeling of being true to yourself, even when it's hard.
So I guess the takeaway here is like next time you find yourself facing a choice, big or small, remember, that's an opportunity to strengthen your integrity. Choose wisely.
Well said. Couldn't agree more.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into integrity. It's been real.
Yeah, thanks, everyone.